Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Arjuna Sharawat, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that have proven success formulae for many. And this is what we aim to achieve with these sessions that are a gathering of leaders and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such leader on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Manish Gohel. As a specialist in the digital content management field, Manish has given his over 3 decades to the digital media industry, building strong relationships between vendors and clients, analyzing user behavior in Indian content trends and mindsets of target audiences with regard to content consumption across devices, aligning metadata to pave the way for AI and ML, along with keeping abreast of latest technological trends. Manish has founded his own startup, Aideo Pvt Limited, a tech-based entertainment company, which is also the fruition of Manish's perseverance and dedication to the field. Wow, this is so exciting. Your field, your nature of work is so exciting. Welcome, Manish, to FaceTime with Leaders.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Arjuna. I'm honored and more excited than you are here talking with you. Thank you so much, honestly.
Thank you. Manish, what is it that you find the most fascinating about the entertainment industry?
Entertainment, for that matter, today's buzzword is like, content. So content can be entertaining, infotaining, edutaining, all of that to put together. So when we talk of entertaining, it is essentially a video or a film which comes to mind essentially. Okay, so what we have is a film with a certain genre, which is talking of a action, romantic, suspense, patriotic, those kinds of films. Okay, or else if there is music, so there is a particular person who comes to your mind listening to a romantic track, suppose. Okay, or you get excited and start doing exercises the next day morning once you see a Bruce Lee movie. Okay, so what is fascinating about content in general, other than along with entertainment content, is that it molds the frame of the mind of the users, like, and the masses. So what happens socially outside is plugged into films to present the actual situation or the culture of the current generation. Along with that, entertainment has the power, media has the power to mold the thought processes of the masses, giving something futuristic. Like, so when robots were just thought of, or robots were moving in 4 wheels, okay, so somebody thought of Terminator, and this particular robot is walking and doing all that which is required. So that was just imaginary that point of time, but today's robots actually walk and talk. Okay, so what humans as evolution took a millennia, so robots have done in probably 20 years. So that's pretty fascinating. So entertainment or a content person can think of anything and possibly make it happen in the future.
Amazing. Yeah, really. Entertainment field itself is so exciting and full of possibilities. And you have handled several senior positions and thus various roles. We would like to know which of your responsibilities you have enjoyed the most.
So running corporates, making something happen requires multiple functions, operations, legal, finance, general management. There are quite a few other things, content management, licensing, compliance and all that. Of all this, one very important thing which is close to my mind is research. So try and experiment onto something which is not yet possible in the workings as such, make that happen and implement it. So once it is in use, that which we have as a company or as a team or as an individual not yet tried and get it working is very close to my heart. Other one more importantly is team mentorship, so to help realize the potential of individuals. A person will do his job. Somebody gets into his office at 10 to 9, 9 to 6, 9 to 7. He may work overnights, both pressure, March year ending and all of that. To mentor these people, to see to it that their potential is realized. I learned one thing, just to ask them, put yourself in the mindset of who you take instructions from, data from, information from, you yourself process. That is your basic task. But 10% think of the person you are doing things for and you're giving the output to. Okay, we may take production work, raw materials from somewhere and give it output to the marketing or the sales guys in a production kind of a framework. But if every individual keeps a bit of a margin and increases his potential 10% at both the ends of the input and the output, things become so simple. So they so conveniently can talk, understand the challenges faced by the previous guys and the next guys. So once a person realizes this, that his potential becomes much more than what he is here to perform and work, so to give that kind of a feel to the teams, our teams, direct juniors, colleagues, just about anyone else, and once they realize the potential and then the feedback that we get, boss, this was great, I'm loving my job now, which was not the case probably a week ago. So these kinds of things, mentorship and motivational is required every now and then. It's not once and for all. ये रोज जैसा खाना खाना पड़ता है, वैसे every day we have to keep on doing this. So one of the best things which I like about my job is mentorship, interacting with the people around and seeing them work efficiently. So I used to be popular in saying, I don't do much work. I only troubleshoot, only trouble comes to me.
Wonderful. And so my next question is about, obviously, the only trouble comes to you. So we would like to know.
Ask for trouble, I think.
How was,
I just asked for trouble.
No.
Troubling question, probably.
No, it's not that. Okay. It's just that higher positions are for solving the troubles. I mean, giving solutions, higher positions for solutions.
Challenging. So let's not use the trouble sort of,
Challenges. Yeah, correct. So can you let our viewers know about your journey of becoming an executive director and then founding Aideo Pvt Limited?
So the thing is, I am not a techie by academics, but I was always involved with software and all of that, So, and seeing the entertainment space so closely without really knowing कि भाई film है किसने बनाया, my job is to see to it that I got to give it to the users. So I used to refer Amazon that point of time. People who bought this also bought this. Okay, so can I make something provision in my system, people who saw this piece of Mahabharat or Ramayana or this comedy scene also saw something else, which is a straightforward data analysis result. Okay, so from there onwards, user behavior, lot of rights and wrongs that we did, we experimented. So in today's terms, it is called A/B testing. Do something, we don't know what the answer is. I, as a human individual, will like ABC. Somebody else will like XYZ as a product or a feature or content or just about a color or about anything. So it is tested as A/B. Whichever is working a bit better is then given to everybody, sort of. So from basic learnings onwards till heavy duty, big data analysis, artificial intelligence, algorithms which work in place. So from there till here, the journey has been very interesting for that matter, and a lot of technology changes have come up. The base media, so like earlier it was just a television or films dekhi to theater mein dekhi, films mein once in a week tha, I mean television mein once in a week tha. Now in cable channels on demand you can see some movie, you can't really skip. Okay, theater mein dekha, you have to be in there for this 2.5 3 hours for that matter. But today the content pieces are in everybody's pocket. Okay, and they want to consume it at their particular, on demand sort of at their speed and all. So today YouTube has got a double click which jumps 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds and all of that. So now whatever a human thinks of is possible technically. Okay, but then what should be done is quite a huge question to be answered. So my journey has been a lot of experimenting for that matter, and seeing to it whether are people liking it, whether my team is liking it, whether my seniors are liking it, does the management be okay for some such feature. I may be very hot on a feature, management, nah, this is in our roadmap but not on priority. Something the management will be on for ki ye karna chahiye, this is our next big thing, may not excite me for that matter. Like, so a lot of learnings, and not that anyone was always right or anyone was always wrong. There were always debates and all of that. So across all learnings, what we learn is we have to do something. Instead of being perfect, it is better to just get going for that matter and see what happens. Something wrong, okay, doesn't matter. We'll do something else better next time. Okay, so the journey has been honestly a lot of learning, implementing things, understanding user behavior, understanding content, understanding narratives, like, in today's social media thing. So what sort of news you see, what percentage is true or fake, God knows. So there are a lot of things which technically have to be put in place to set the narrative or the culture in place, like, and again, there are no right or wrong answers. It's a trial. Like, today something may work, tomorrow it may not work. So you got to tweak the algorithms again. So that's what, like, from video learnings onwards, audio learnings onwards, social learnings for now is what will be implemented soon. And that is where the world is going to. So I
Oh,
just
that's a
can
great.
believe I have answered your question, like, so otherwise I can go on for a full day and we may not arrive at a particular result, but that's what is like.
Right. And coming to ESG, do you find any scope of making the digital content media industry more environmentally sustainable and socially responsible?
Sure. See, the thing is, ESG, we're talking of an environment friendly thing and a socially friendly thing. So with entertainment or content opening up from professionally generated to user generated, that itself has become a very social friendly thing. So today influencers, digital creators are so popular, they find their place in films. Okay, they are respected. Earlier, ye kya karta hai? Ye video banata hai. Okay, so a TikTok video or a Reels video generator would have been called, he's not doing anything in life. That's why he's in front of this camera and doing things, like, but when he talks sense out there, when he or she does good work on the screen, when he or she gathers his followers and all of that, there is a respectable place they attain in society. Okay, so yes, this generation, day and age has seen a lot of influences and general people getting the attention which they rightfully, warrant as such. Like, earlier actors were out of reach. Today, actors are on social media and answer people also. And at the same time, there are a whole lot of other people who do just about college students will do some short story, put it on YouTube or any other platform and get their following. At least it's showing, experimenting, trying out their potential and putting it out there. So socially, they are very much accepted these days. So that has helped a lot. Thanks to technology also for that matter. And environmentally, See, see, if today's camera is capable of a 4K resolution shoot, okay, so today what they shoot is not really this four types of pieces and locations as such. A 4K camera will do that for a minute, and the editor will apply his creative juices to use pieces of the same thing. So what was in use earlier, the equipment which was in use earlier, lesser number of equipment, lesser number of time, lesser power is definitely used these days as far as the production is concerned. Of course, professionally generated content. So, and what to say, there were equipments earlier which did a specific task. Okay, so but to complete the complete task, there were multiple equipments to be used for completing a particular process. Today, it's multiple software in the same computer which does all of that one together. Okay, so the equipment, power consumption, the time used for all of this has drastically gone down. So yes, content generation has helped eco-friendly things. Yet, of course, there is a whole big kind of a scope because like I earlier said, content has the power to change the mindset of people. So in each film, if they just show some kid or some elder taking a plastic bottle and putting into the dustbin, okay, so that grows in everybody's mind. So we as in urban and rural areas will not want to just throw away our bottle on the roads as such. But the right thing is to put it into that bin, like, so these kinds of things are actually happening these days that we are talking. So earlier people used to, there was a calorie conscious generation, then it became vegan. So now it is organic content kitna hai. So people actually see in the packet the percentage of organic content in there. So now these kinds of things are possible thanks to content and user generated content.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as technology is so much a part of it, we would like to know from you, what technological changes have you seen in the industries you have worked in? And can you state your foresight on the upcoming technological trends, namely IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, Web 3.0, etc.?
So now these are huge topics by itself. So in the interest of time, let me just touch upon these. So from, like I earlier mentioned, we used to refer to Amazon. People who have bought this also bought that. Okay, so to now, people who saw this also have seen this. Somebody who's seen X film has also seen film Y. Okay, this was what was earlier. Now the fundamental is there are algorithms as per each user. The user has used something, there is a huge amount of data captured for each usage. The patterns are understood, the day of the time is monitored, that this user consumes this at this point of time. So his feed will change as per the time he enters this particular service. The same user in a different country will probably see something else in that particular country or territory. Locally, something else is important there, but we think that you are here, so you should see this. So there is, it's called, big data. It's also called collaborative filtering. So there are heavy duty terms to it. So essentially what has happened is content given to the user has a particular narrative outlined that this one's journey is going to be like this, at least for this time. If he does this, what we have imagined, every day give him something like this, and every moment keep on learning if he does the exact same things or he moves around here and there. Okay, and the same logic is given to the other set of users who do that. Okay, so it's simply said than done. So there's a lot of data, a lot of analysis which goes into it. So now these kinds of things are happening now. The next set which is about happening is a lot of artificial intelligence. Like, so today content is being written. So somebody talks of marketing literature to be done, some product launch. So what should the host say on stage, or what should the leaflet be talking about, or what should be the text on the website, introducing some such thing. You ask AI tool and it will give you very nicely written, proper grammar, exactly what you should say out there. So content writing is sort of automated. And earlier it was we asking Google, like, give me help on some such thing. So we had to refer 20 different things. In the bargain we learned, like, ye bhi ho sakta hai, and we pick and chose the right thing and we build it on by itself. Today, one chat GPT will list out, you need to do this. We are sorted. So probably our learning has sort of stopped somewhere. At the same time, we are getting much better material ready-made. Okay, so content writing has already happened. Images, we know, like, what will be the younger self of this individual? What will be the older self of this individual? How will this person look if he's dressed in a Japanese outfit or something like that? So images are generated automatically these days. Small work has already happened on videos for that matter. So moving images will be a video. So 3D characters are given dialogues and they actually say with their limbs, lip sync on. Okay, so now these kinds of things are already happening. Okay, so some work in the video space, very little work in the music space, I would say. So music automatically generated sounds very miserable, I'm sorry to say, still. So and people are working towards it. So if a chat GPT has taken 6 months to a year to come up where it is today, music will take another 2, 3, 4 months, if not more. Okay, so imagine in the next 6 months, all these pieces of content are going to be generated out of computer systems or robots. That day is not far when a human can think of a romantic story with a horror background in the territory of, suppose, Nainital in winter. Can you write me or can you make me content? So there can be an intelligence behind and multiple tools to give you dialogues and emotions and build characters and the voiceovers and the music and songs and all of that. There can be one intelligence to give the whole thing out. So entertainment industry, content industry, you never know what will happen, like, after a year or so. It sounds scary, but yes, we are getting there someday. So as far as content goes, that, but still there is no stopping or there is no limit to human ingenuity, creativity, intelligence, and or stupidity, however we call it. So we'll always have a way around and be ahead of computer systems in all this space. So I'm not really worried, but yes, it'll be very interesting to see the future, what it looks like as far as content goes. Like, all probabilities, the next film we see will be totally artificially generated, possible. Suppose Web 3.0 that you mentioned, Web 3.0 is getting, what to say, digital space into our lives, into our physical lives. At the same time, there is a metaverse which is getting physical artists, physical things into the digital realm. Okay, so again, the space in between the digital and physical life is getting so thin. So Hollywood movies, like, so who's a robot and who's the actual human being, you wouldn't know, like, a Matrix and the happening. Yes, these kinds of things are probably possible very soon. So future is going to be very interesting or scary, however we see it.
So that was really, as you said, exciting and kind of scary because we don't know how it's going to be.
Yeah, how it
Unknown is
eventually.
scary. Yeah. Now coming to something which is known, which is that you are a corporate governance expert now. And so we would like to know from you, what values would you offer the corporate world?
See, for corporate base, essential purpose is profitability. Okay. And then is sustainability. Are we doing the right thing? So a business to run basically needs money, revenues, profit to keep itself alive. It's a must, no doubts about it. But the larger question is, at what cost? Okay, so in the boardroom, large pieces of discussion ideally need to be on ethics and integrity, I would believe. Like, so if a OTT we talk of, so, like, is it, there is a top viewed or most important pieces of content in your locality. We think that you should see these videos or these films. Okay, are auto-generated, no doubts about it. Yet there is a particular level of seeding some pieces of content which can change the narrative, which can change the thinking of the masses, like we spoke earlier. Okay, so is it a good thing to do that? Is it a bad thing to do that? What a social media feed will be visible in China territory is going to be majorly different from what we see here in India to what is visible in North America. Like, so the cultures are three different worlds apart. Okay, so what is the right thing to do? So obviously there are no right or wrong answers to it, but as a company, as a corporate, there has to be a debate and discussion to take and hold on to the values that we should do these things right, and probably never get into, irrespective of the money or power or respect we get or lose doing the other things, like, seeding in the wrong kind of material at a wrong place, sort of, which is not healthy for the users or the masses. Like, so we've known of events wherein social media feeds have changed the political structure of companies. Like, so the masses have started thinking this is the right thing for our country, sort of. So there have been, those kinds of algorithms and companies doing that. So I think ethics, morality, I think is a large piece that we need to debate on. There's also one thing apart from many others, like, risk management. So in today's social generated content, user generated content, what is the right thing for users to make, for that matter, to create? Is it good for themselves then, or like, somebody is in a bus or a train or a speeding car and they do a lot of video shooting? Is it good for them? Probably no. The content looks exciting, yes, but seeing that excitement, there may be a host of others who start doing that. Like, so that there is food porn, they say. So people are used to doing mischief with food, mixing two separate items and trying to eat it. Like, so they have the usage, they have their views, they have a huge amount of following, but is it really good? Like, so as a platform, it is the job of the company to present. Okay, they should not be a moral police to say yes or no. Okay, of course. So if there are a number of users saying this is wrong, they dislike it, then it will not be pushed across. Fair enough. Okay, so, but if some such thing has happened and somebody else seeing it and done something wrong and fallen into a police trap or a health issue or some such thing, it is a risk ultimately to the platform. Like, so to envision that these kinds of pieces, this space may land up into a particular risk, to assess that risk and to see to it that, the company is prepared to face the consequences, or at least have a narrative ready and, undo the wrongs which have happened. Like, so risk management, I think, is a very large thing, especially with user generated content these days. And of course, ethics. So other than that, of course, stakeholders. So today's stakeholders are the creators themselves. A platform is important, but a platform is really nothing without the creators there. Okay, so other than the investors, it is the digital creators who would have ownership in the company. Yeah, मैं हूँ तो reels है तो मैं हूँ. Like, so it is a partnership like that. So yes, they are also very important to engage them, to reward them, to sustain them, to educate them on doing not this but that. Like, so there are a lot of things which can be brought to table for the right thing. So ultimately it should be like, we need to pass on a better world to our next generation than what we have today. A company has the power of that. An individual can't really do much. A government can definitely do, but companies, being private entities and having funds, they can do a lot of such things. So I think I would really want to look at, risk management and ethics more.
Wow, wonderful. That's going to be a great contribution.
Thank you so much. I hope it makes sense to you.
It does. Manish, as you're aware, we are building FaceTime with Leaders community for cross-pollination of knowledge and a community of independent directors for having a better corporate governance in the country. What are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Zishan Pathan and Heval Mehta and the whole World Development team?
Honestly, it is indeed a commendable task and a humongous responsibility taken up by Zishan and Heval and the whole team. So to get knowledge systematically disseminated, distributed in the right fashion, to give clarity and to mobilize, industry experts to share knowledge with each other is a huge thing. So we may have studied, we may have learned something in our company or in academics, but how many times do we really share with others? It'll be so interesting for me to learn, how do they tackle a particular issue in the petrochemical industry. Maybe interesting for me to hear and listen and all that, but we really don't get an opportunity. So what Zishan and team are doing is a hugely commendable task. So I'm flabbergasted. I'm so happy to be associated here, and thanks for taking this task up and helping industry across. I take this opportunity to thank the entire team out here. Thank you so much, Zishan and Heval and the team. And yourself, that
Thank
you
you
have
for
patiently listened to me and and asked me so many questions.
it. Was indeed a pleasure, and thank you so much for your motivating feedback. And that was a fantastic conversation with you. I'm confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thank you, Manish, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, Anuja. Wish you the same. All the best. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.